Okay, it's part 2 of the Phantom 4 Pro rebuild. We're going to replace the shell today. Alright, so we'll begin by taking off the camera here. Only got a couple screws in here since we just rebuilt this camera in the previous video, so I need to put in 2 screws so we can get this back off easy enough. Normally you'd have to remove all these screws here. Alright, we'll pry this up. These 2 screws will come out. Let's see where that one went. And pop this off here. Set the camera aside. See if we can get that screw out of there. There it is. Put that in here. Alright. We need to take these little sort of end reflector pieces off here. You can do that by just pushing down on them. Pull them out push them out like that. And I know we're missing one of these. We think I have 3 of them here. So we'll have to order a set of them. I'm sure you can't get just one. Sometimes you really have to push down on these hard or use a tool like a plastic spludger tool to push down on them. But these weren't that difficult to do. We're going to pop out the lenses here. Let's see, we can just use a regular screwdriver for that very carefully. We're going to replace this bottom shell anyway, so you can see how these come out, just like that. These out of the way. Okay. Then they have these paper type diffusers in here for the LEDs. So we're going to have to pick these out. They're just stuck on. And we'll reuse these. Unless the new shell comes with a new set of them. I'm not sure it does. I only have the bottom shell. We're going to see if we can get away with just replacing the bottom shell today, since the top shell really is in pretty good shape. Okay. Now we can begin by taking these screws out that hold the motor's on, and then the screws that hold the two pieces of the shell together. Gonna need a bigger hex for these. These motors will not fall out. They're still retained in by a clip, or clips I should say. So we'll just remove the screws. We're going to be replacing one of these motors here. It feels like it might have been damaged in the crash. The motors do spin up, but I don't trust this one motor. You can spin it, it feels like it's just something grinding. So we have a replacement. I've seen some conflicting information on DJI motors for their drones online. And from what I know, there is really no counterclockwise or clockwise motor when it comes to the Phantom 4. It really all depends on what prop mount you have on there. The motors, all DJI motors can work both directions. The ESC is what controls the direction and the speed. It's only the what propeller prop mount you have on there. With the Phantom 3s, of course, you had a threaded prop mount, which meant you had to spin the props on, so they are specific. That prop mount, that thread portion is built into the motor. They are specific to counterclockwise or clockwise rotation. So those you have to be careful with. The Phantom 4 motors, you can transfer over the prop mounts, so that's not as much of a concern. So you just buy any old motor that's compatible with the Phantom 4. And you should be good to go. As long as you have the right prop mount. Okay, those are all out. Let's start removing the screws that hold the shells together, the two pieces of shell. These are usually pretty tight. You can see we can just pull that piece right off. Set that aside. That piece we can pull right off. Just begin by working to the outside of the drone and work your way in, taking the screws out. See if we can get that one out of there. There it is. Work our way in here. It'll be pretty easy to take these two shells apart since some of the work has already been done from us with those broken pieces. Okay. They are all out. Now you've got a couple screws here that need to be removed. That one was already pretty loose. Set that aside. Now the bottom shell has the connections for the antenna and the compasses. They actually are in the landing gear here, so we need to disconnect the antenna leads and the compass leads when we get the shell partially apart here. So we can start with the antenna leads. They're actually right here. And you can see there's different colored wires. And you have to be careful to put these back in that right order. So you can actually write down the order. You can take a picture with your cell phone, whatever you'd like to do. Of course, there's information online on which way they go also. I'm just going to jot it down. So we have black from top to bottom. We have, we'll call it gray. And then we'll call it dark gray. And then we'll just call the last one white. Of course, like I said, there's information online too if you forget. We take off this bracket here first. Set these screws over here. And you can see these antenna leads here. Just gotta be careful with these. We'll just pop them off, just like that. Be careful not to break these. Okay. Now we can begin prying the shell apart. Like I said, some of the work's been done for us already here. It helps to have an old set of props, and I've done this before in these videos. I'll show you what I mean. We'll just use these to sort of prop the shells apart. You just have to push in. Slide the prop up there. here. Working from the motor end here to separate it. Push in on the bottom portion of the shell, we'll bend these little grounding clips up here. Out of the way, be careful not to break them. Now we're free. We'll carefully lift up the shell here. Get these leads out of the way. Now right here, you can see that here are the compass leads. We're going to need to remove those. The way you do that is you just take a pair of tweezers. I'll try to zoom in on it. And we'll squeeze. And we'll kind of work these out here. There. Do the same with these. Okay, that's attached. We should be able to lift the bottom portion up. You see, here's the connectors we just took off. This one, the little thing broke off here, but that's no big deal. You can see right there, it'll still work. And that's the other one there. Okay, now that's our broken bottom portion here. What we'll need to do is we'll need to remove the landing gear, since we're going to be retaining that, and transferring it over to the new shell. You can see here what it looks like on the inside. Got your magnesium battery cage here. These are very durable. The DJI did a great job when designing these, and they'll take a crash. And you know, with the proper care, they'll work afterward. I don't think we need to do too much of this top shell at all. I was going to take a little bit of a heat gun to it, but I don't think I do. It doesn't look that bad. So, just replacing the bottom shell will do the trick. All right, first, let's take this tape off here. You can see how it's used to route the antenna wires here. So we're going to remove the tape. We'll set this aside for now. And we can reuse this tape on the new shell. We'll just stick that back there so we know where to put it on the new shell. sure we get all that tape off. There's some there yet. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to remove these covers here. This one has already been lost, but the way you do that is you just force the landing gear out. Let's see if we can get a screwdriver or something to pry it out with. It'll pop out. Same thing for this side. Again, apply outward pressure on it. Just enough. There's a little pin there that you have to get out of this little hole. Go. And we get in here with a, looks like a hex bit. It might be a smaller one than that. It is. Go back with the camera there. We'll try to get in here with this. Screw this landing gear. There we are. That's one. This one is a little more difficult to deal with because it's on an angle. You can see the compass is in here on this side. On this one. There. Just carefully lift this up. See if we can get the compass lead through here. That's part of the tricky, the trick is getting the compass lead. We're not going to be able to do that, are we? Nope. We'll have to detach it from here. Take the screw out. Of course, we have the glue here. Securing these two cables in. Be able to get the antenna lead out of here. There, the antenna lead comes out. And we'll take out the compass lead here. Take the other antenna lead out here. You see what I had to go through there. I had to disconnect the compass lead from inside here. It has a much smaller connector so that we can now fish it down through the bottom shell. And it will come out. You can see that the other end is way too wide to fit through that the little slot there. So let's go get the new shell. I'm going to transfer this over immediately to the new shell. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put this on. Fish that down through there. We're going to fish this down through there. Oops, we're going to fish it up through there. And we'll have to put that back in here. And reconnect it. There, oops, you can see what I had to reconnect there. And we can put a little bit of glue in there just to secure those. I have a electronic grade silicone glue here. Not like the DJI stuff, which you can't seem to buy here in the States. Well, it'll do the trick. We'll just put a little dab of glue in there. Just to resecure those. Definitely don't want the compass disconnecting during flight. We should have two compasses, but pretty important. Keep those connected. Fishing this antenna lead back down in there. You have two different length screws I've discovered. The longer one goes on the inside. Kind of tough to get to. Gotta move the compass wire out of the way, fish it in there on an angle. Make sure we don't get the compass wire crimped or anything there. There. Notice the compass too has shielding. You can see. Right, that looks like copper shielding. Okay, you can see the compass actually module is right up in there. Not a real easy task. Alright, so that one's done. Do the same thing with the other one. Alright, the second landing gear is just a repeat of the first one, so we'll skip past that. We don't need to show you that on the video. Screw these down with the shorter screws on the outside. Okay, that part's done. And there's a ladybug here, wants to be in the camera, wants to be on film. Get out of here. Tell you folks, it helps to have one of these. Is she with my old eyes? Does help out when I do this kind of work. Would not be a bad idea to invest in one of those. Okay. Now, we got all those on. We can see where everything gets taped down. We'll look at the old one here. Just transfer the tape over. Goes around like that. This one goes down to some slots right down here. That gets fitted down in there. Just like that. And we have some tape right here. Going to go down right there. These two will be taped down with. And let's see here. Oh, they've already included tape here. That's nice. Didn't even notice that. Okay, good. Let's see where else we need to tape. I think that's really it. So we'll just use the tape that they have here, and we'll just tape this one down with it. There, just like that. Alright, let's transfer. We have to replace one of these motors here. Let's set these aside here. Let's find the one that's bad. I think it's that one there. That's the one. So we're going to replace this motor here. That one's good. That one's good. See, I've got a new motor here. Actually, new motor came out of a drone that was unused. And for this, we got to fire up the soldering iron. Okay, these are loose now. You can pop them out. Just held in with a clip. There. We'll need to make sure we can free these wires up here. They're glued in. Break the glue that DJI uses here. Just separate the leads to the LEDs. We don't need to take those off. You see where they're glued on right here near their solder point. I'll try to get that glue off. I'm going to plug in the soldering iron here, let it get heated up. We have to desolder those motor leads. Alright, should we get those leads free? You can see actually they're marked. The wires are different colors, but if you look carefully, you'll see the marked. They're black, gray, and white, and they actually have letters there as to signify which wire goes where. So you almost can't go wrong. Okay, we'll desolder one wire. Take care of the next one here. The last one might be held on a little bit of glue yet, so let's get rid of that. Make sure we're nice and free. There we are. There. Okay. So all three leads of the motor are now, we can pull the motor right out. Now we'll need to detach the prop mounts, put it on the new motor. We'll go ahead and we'll transfer over the prop mount here. I'll do this on camera here. There's somebody's dog barking right outside. Alright, we're ready to put the new motor on. This is the old stodgy one, we're just going to get rid of it. What I'd like to do is I like to get rid of this old solder here too. If we can get rid of that. Put some fresh solder on there would be best. See if we can do that. Get down there without burning anything. Alright, let's float some fresh solder on there. Alright, let's get the new motor in here. Fish it up there. Clip that in there. I'm going to route these cables around. Okay, they're soldered on there, you can see. I'll put a little bit of silicone cement there just to secure those wires. Trying to get on camera here. I put some silicone cement down there to secure the wires. Yeah, we can begin putting on the bottom part of the shell here. sure our cables are free and clear here. Got all 4 of them there. Let's bend up this grounding. We've got to make sure our compass leads are fished through properly here. See, that one is not. Okay, we'll put our compass leads in. Try to put focus this here where you can see it. You see that one's in there. And put the other one in. That one's in there. Okay, let's make sure we're not pinching any wires here. Everything looks all right. I think we're okay. Okay, there it is. Bend down these ground straps here. And we'll put these antenna leads back on. I'm going to refer to our little list here. Black goes on the top. Okay. Next one down is the gray. That's this gray here. And then dark gray, go underneath this here. And then the white is on the bottom here. Twist that around so it's in the right place. And that's on. Get our bracket and we'll put that on. And these two little screws go in here. Now this did come with, the new shell came with new screws, but I'll tell you what, let's put the motor screws in first. These are securely tightened down. interesting. Looks like they gave us new screws to mount the camera on with too. Go ahead and we'll put this in here. Actually, this one. Tell you what, folks, we have another visitor here. These ladybugs are just driving me nuts. See them flying around here. We had a mild winter here in the southeastern Pennsylvania, and the bugs just never really died out completely over the winter. And it's now early March, and the bugs are still flying around. I've got these ladybugs one after another coming in the shop here. I guess seeking out the warmth. But they never really, like I said, they never really hibernated. Okay. Now let's put the little diffuser stickers back on here. Just go in just like that. You can see where I burnt my finger there. Drone repair isn't without its hazards, I guess. Just me not being careful enough with the soldering iron. Alright, then these little end reflectors can go on. Like I said, I'll have to get a replacement one of these because one is missing. One was lost in a crash. But they are available. doors back on here. Figure out which ones go where. I believe that one goes there. That one goes there. It's a good fit. This one does not go there. I think that one goes there. Yes. Okay. I don't like that one. The way that one fits there. Let's see if it goes on this side. Yeah, that's definitely the one that goes there. Alright. Yeah, we are missing one of these here, so we'll have to order those. In fact, matter of fact, I have one in order already, come to think of it. Now, let's put the camera on. Okay, we'll use the new screws, why not? Smaller bit. Alright folks, takes care of that. I'll peel off these protective covers here. I'm going to leave those on. They can be the infrared sensing system here. There it is. Now let's put a battery in it. We'll see if the see if we get the DJI sound. That sound actually, that doo-doo-doo-doo, that's actually made by the motors. The motors are the vibrating during startup. The motors are meant to vibrate and create that DJI tone, so you know that connections are correct and ESCs are working if you get that tone right away while the drone is booting up. So we'll see if we get that, and then later on we'll take it out for a test flight. I'll include the link to the camera rebuild, which was on the previous video. We didn't fly it after that repaired because of that motor being stodging in the broken shell, so I wanted to make sure we got that motor replaced before we attempted to fly it. They all feel good. Okay. So we put this away here. It's a good sign. Tells us all the motors are working. Alright, let's hook up the remote to it. We'll see. Spin them up here. Okay. Aircraft status. No SD card. You see what that's saying there. Radio channel quality. Poor, but that's because we're inside here. How's the Wi-Fi bouncing around? So everything looks good. Latest firmware. Let's fire up the motors. And there you go. Alright. What do you say we take this baby out for a spin? We are in beautiful Royal Chester County, Pennsylvania, Londonderry Township. We're at a small church called the St. Malachi Church. This was established in 1838. It's actually a Roman Catholic church. It looks more like a Quaker meeting house, and we are in Quaker country, but this was an Irish established church. Let's take off there. I want to hit the record button. Just leaving the camera settings on auto. Okay. Did well. No issues. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it helps out with your own project. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like the content of the video. Make sure you do. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification. That'll let you know when I upload another video. All right, well, take care now. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.